Hi everyone. Yeah, I'm going to do my live breakdown and the reaction. Hopefully, my internet behaves. And I will start off this whole thing by saying I think I probably have the best predictions on YouTube, right? I think before me, the one who used to get really good results, I think was MMA Guru, but uh, recently, like he hasn't been doing that well. I mean, on this card, he got like 8 fights wrong. Yeah, I think it's eight. And I got like only three wrong. So I got 11 out of 14. He got, I don't know, but he got eight out of, he got eight wrong, so that's not really good. MMA Joey is not that good. So yeah, I can honestly say I think I have some of the best predictions, if not the very best on YouTube. Um, anyway, let me get to the actual fights. Before I even start, I feel like every single week, MMA fans have something to complain about, especially when it comes to close decisions, right? And sometimes it's warranted, sometimes I don't feel like it's warranted. In this particular week, I've learned that when a lot of fans are upset on social media, just know that a lot of people lost a lot of money. Um, my best advice to anyone who watches my videos is avoid the fights that you're not sure of or that could go either way. Right? Look for something else. Right? Which brings me to the first fight of the night, basically Ryan Dos Santos versus Puja Toma. This fight was a coin flip, in my own opinion. Leading up, maybe, for example, predicting it basically was really challenging. But beyond that, I feel like even the fight itself was a coin flip. I don't understand how people are saying this is a robbery because I don't feel like either of them should have felt confident about winning this fight because it was so close. I felt like both fighters did enough to actually have an argument for a win. I I don't feel as strongly as most people feel, and it's not because I picked Pujatoma. I just feel like these fights were so close that it's crazy for anyone to say, "Well, that was a robbery." How is it even a robbery when the fights were so incredibly close? Um, I mean, at the end of the day, why would you bet on a fight like this, especially women's MMA? That's the true definition of gambling. When you put your money on women's MMA, it's the true definition of gambling, especially when you look at Eduardo Moura's performance. It just tells you that no matter how good someone looks, it doesn't matter when it comes to women's MMA. Like you could be 100% right about a fighter in women's MMA, and you could still lose your money. It doesn't really matter. So, in any case, I picked the Pujatoma. My subscribers went with Ryan Dos Santos. I honestly cannot be too upset. I wouldn't have been upset either way, whether the decision went to Ryan Dos Santos or Pujatoma. I honestly don't feel like anyone has a solid argument to say Ryan Amanda actually won. They're just making an argument for the person they picked or the money that they lost or they invested in that particular person. I will repeat, do not invest your money in women's MMA. You're going to lose money. Even if you think you know who's going to win. On to the next one. Cody Stedman versus Tyler Lapiles. There was nothing great about this fight. I mean, I picked Tyler Lapiles. My subscribers were Cody Stedman. I feel like Tyler Lapiles, something really impressive that I felt like he did. Or maybe it's because Cody Stedman gave him like a really tough match in a sense. I don't know. I just feel like he didn't stand out in a way. He won, and that's my pick, obviously. But I don't feel like there was anything special about this fight except that he won. He won a decision. and it was unanimous at least. So yeah, I picked Tyler Lapulus, and my subscribers went with Cody Stanman. Yodora Moura, sorry, versus Denise Gomes. Um, I don't know, man. Like, I expected Mora to actually dominate this fight, and she showed me why you shouldn't have any confidence in anyone in women's MMA, especially if they're not in the top 10 or top 5. You know, you're just playing with fire in that particular area because on paper and everywhere else, like Eduardo Mora should have won this fight, but I guess she didn't have enough cardio because she's trying to be a weight bully and all these type of things. So for whatever reason, she lost to Denise Gomes. Like, this was crazy. I felt like this was the lock. Even though I got 11 fights correct and only 3 wrong, it sucks that this is the fight that I got. That, like, this is the fight I was calling like a lock, right? So it hurts me even more. Even if I got like 11 correct and only 3 wrong, the fact that I said this fight is a lock, it's it broke my heart even more because like I felt like Mora would actually dominate this fight, but like I was saying, this three. Never put your confidence in a women's fighter, especially even if you think you know who this person is and how they fight. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Shouldn't you from the way this that Mora was gonna be bad? Yeah, yeah, man. Fight played out almost exactly as I thought. Yeah, man. DC. Hey, my network is sabotaging me. You know, I'm enjoying this reaction, but hopefully everyone can bear with me. I honestly thought Mora would actually. If you looked at my predictions, I actually said that she would probably be the lock. And like I was saying, I got 11 correct. You know, it's not like I had a bad night. I mean, people like MMA Guru got like 8 picks wrong. You know, so I'm happy with the results that I got, but it always frustrates me when I'm wrong about a lock specifically because she should have won this fight, and that's what's frustrating about that. Honestly, expected goals. Coastal Grand Prix. Yeah, which sucks. In any case, I went with Mora. My subscribers went with Denise Gomes. Um, yeah, it just goes to show you that you shouldn't ever put your trust on a women's fighter. Um, no offense, but like they always disappoint. John Castaneda versus Daniel Marcos. Daniel Marcos was a little bit more aggressive in this fight. I expected him to win, but I didn't expect him to be this aggressive and this sharp. You know, and it's a good thing. It shows that he's improving, and that's what I like to see in a fighter. I'm excited to see what he can do in the future, but yeah, my subscribers and I picked Daniel Marcos. I felt like this fight was really was going to be close, but I knew that Marcos would be able to find a way to win this one. But I didn't expect him to win it so decisively, basically. But yeah, my subscribers and I got this one correct. On to the next one, Brad Katona versus Jesse Butler. My subscribers and I picked Brad Katona. I also thought this fight would be a lot closer than it was. I actually thought Jesse Butler would dominate on the ground. But for whatever reason, you know, Brad Katona was able to actually win. First time seeing you, bro. Can't pick them all right. I put Castaneda in my DraftKings over Soriano. Would you consider crapping your pants for? Okay, DC. If this is your first time coming to the channel, man, there's so much here. Let me give you my previous prediction accuracy. For example, on this particular card, I got 11 out of 14. On the previous card, which was the UFC 302, I got 11 out of 12. Correct. Some of them I forgot, but I remember UFC 302, 300. I mean. I got 10 out of 12, something like that. So that's why I was like, I feel like I have one of the best prediction channels on YouTube, if not the very best. Obviously, I don't get all the cards correctly, but the majority of the time, I think I perform exceedingly well. And the channel is like a year old, so that's pretty good. So go through the whole channel, whether it's the short section. I reply to I reply to every single comment. So go through the entire channel, especially the shorts section. Back to the live prediction or the live reaction to Jared Cannonier versus on a pay-per-view card. That's a big number. Yeah, yeah. I was also surprised with myself, but I put in a lot of work in my predictions. So even though it surprises me, I mean it's expected because I put in a lot of hours in predicting fights. My subscribers and I went with Brad Katona. Um, I think Jesse Butler should try and improve his striking. I think his range, or rather his reach, and all these type of things could be a problem for a lot of fighters at bantamweight. If he improves that, maybe he can be a problem at some point. But he looked horrible. Brad Katona just dominated him. I expected Brad Katona to win, but I didn't expect it to be that one-sided. My subscribers and I got this one correct. On to the next one, Andrea Lee versus Montana De La Rosa. This is the second fight I got wrong. This also hurt me. But again, it's women's MMA. Like so far the two fights that I got wrong, women's MMA. Right? Andrea Lee looked good in the first round. I was very confident seeing her and how she was fighting. I was like, yeah, this is what I was expecting. And then round two came and it's like she gave up, man. Like it's like she was like, I'm done. And it was largely because of cardio. I don't feel like it had anything to do with skill. But for whatever reason, I felt like she gave up, and Montana De La Rosa won. I feel like Andrea Lee was a little bit better everywhere. Crazy enough, the two women's fights that I got wrong, which is Eduardo Mora and Andrea Lee, those were the people that I felt like would 100% win, and yeah, it just goes to prove. I try to my own camping, but I got a few creators whose opinion I take on board. I'll take a look at your thoughts for Whittaker versus Hamza. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that the particular card, man. But I do early predictions for pay-per-view. So my early predictions for Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler, full card early predictions, they are already out, but on the live section of the channel. So my channel is active on all parts. Like if you go to the video section, it's active. Like there's statistics there and predictions. The short section of the channel is what gave me like 9,000 subscribers at this point. That's where a lot of my subscribers and views come from the shorts section. I do predictions and statistics there. And then there's the live section, which some of you know me from, or a lot of you know me from, which I also do predictions, but I break down my shorts, because my shorts come out on before the next fight night. So, for example, the predictions, the final predictions for Hamza Chimaev versus Robert Whittaker will come out this coming Saturday before the fight night between Taturo Taira versus Alex Perez. So I use my live videos to break down my predictions from the shorts, but the predictions normally come out on the short section of the channel. So check that out. So let me move on. Montana De La Rosa won this one. This is the second fight I got wrong on this particular card. Yeah, and it sucks because I really thought she would win. On to the next one, Charles Radke versus Carlos Prates. Yeah, I love Charles Radke, but I picked Carlos Prates because I felt like Carlos Prates had a variety of ways he could win, and I felt like he was a lethal striker. And looking at the Fighting Nerds, which is basically the gym that he trains out of, I felt like they were very good at preparing their fighters for a variety of stylistic matchups. And I knew that Carlos Prates would be prepared for the grappling. And if he could manage to make sure that the fight stays standing, he would find a way to win. And that's what he actually did. I didn't expect him to finish it like that, but I knew that Carlos would actually win. My subscribers got this one wrong. They went with Charles Redkey. I'm a big fan of Charles Redkey, but I knew that Carlos Prates would win. So I got this one correct. It sucks for Charles Redkey though. But anyway, on to the next one. Thiago Moises versus Ludovic Klein. I picked Ludovic Klein. My subscribers went with Thiago Moises. I knew that a lot of people were underestimating Ludovic Klein's grappling. Basically, I don't know why. Especially the thing, how I look at fights, right? When I'm doing my analysis for predictions, I look at who's most likely going to improve, right? And I felt like Ludovic Klein had enough skills on the ground. Even if he wasn't going to use them offensively, I knew that the little skills that he had on the ground, he would be able to improve them enough to use them defensively, right? So a lot of people were like, no, Thiago Moises is going to take him to the ground and all these type of things, largely because he had a close fight with Islam Makhachev and was it Benoit Dennis and all these type of things. So people like to, and I don't predict that way. For me personally, I don't look at who you beat, right? When I do my analysis, and that's why I think I'm getting like such good results, because for me, who you beat, especially 2 3 years ago, doesn't really matter to me. The wins that I focus on is what have you done in the previous year. That's what I like. How have you looked in the previous year? So that's one of the things I take into consideration. And I feel like people were putting too much weight into what Thiago Moises has done a while ago, and I guess they lost their money on that particular card, or rather on that particular pick. I knew Ludovic Klein would win this one, and that's why I picked him. My subscribers went with Thiago Moises. Yeah, that sucks. The final fight that I got wrong. I don't know why I picked Miguel Baeza. Okay, I know why, but I wouldn't have been so hurt by losing this one, because at least Miguel Baeza, okay, the fight IQ wasn't great, just sitting on the ground while being punched in the face is not a very smart thing to do. But that's what Miguel Baeza thought was the best strategic move for him, was to get punched on the ground. Um, so yeah, this is the third. Like out of 14 fights, I got three wrong, and it's two women's fight and this one, right? And I'm not too disappointed with myself, largely because I felt like Miguel Baeza. A lot of people were thinking he's going to get knocked out. His chin is gone, and I said his chin will come back because he hasn't been that active for a while. So normally it recovers. I didn't plan for him to have a low fighting IQ. I think that's where I didn't consider he would lose um, because of the low fight IQ, right? I think that's not one of the reasons why he lost. But also, I think Punahele Soriano looks a little bit more improved. I feel like he's a little bit more disciplined at welterweight. It's like what Joaquin Buckley did, It's like what Kevin Holland did. Kevin Holland was good at middleweight, but he wasn't great. But the moment he had to discipline himself, to deprive himself of food, to go through tough weight cuts. When you put yourself through all of that, you're going to put in your best in every single fight, because it's so difficult to actually cut weight, to not eat the certain things and all these type of things. And I feel like that's the result of Punahele Soriano. It's having the same effect, I think, as Joaquin Buckley. A lot of people are saying, well, Miguel Baeza is horrible. I don't think that's the case, man. I think it's because Punahele Soriano has improved. I feel like Miguel Baeza probably might win his next fight, especially because, like I said, his chin is back, I think, because he didn't get knocked out. And despite the fact that he took so many damages, the fact that there were so many 10-8s in that particular fight, it shows that his chin is not as bad as it used to be. But yeah, this is the only fight. This is the third fight of the entire card that I got wrong. Um, so yeah, in total, I mean, 11 out of 14 is not bad, but I prefer to get just 100%, and I'm working towards that. My subscribers picked Punahele Soriano on this one, and they were correct to do so. On to the next one, Julian Marquez versus Zach Reese. Um, I didn't expect Zach Reese to be highly deserved. On to the next one. Oh, my subscribers and I picked Zach Reese. I know I said this, but I needed to reiterate that. On to the next one. Bruno Ferreira versus Dustin Stoltzfus. My subscribers and I picked Bruno Ferreira. I felt like I was a little bit on the fence, especially because I feel like Bruno Ferreira fights recklessly. Um, and Dustin showed us because Bruno Ferreira was in trouble in that particular fight. I don't feel like he would have won if he didn't get the finish. I mean, it sounds stupid, but that's true. Like, if that didn't end in a finish, I think Dustin might have won that fight. But my subscribers and I picked Salon, man. Bruno Ferreira. My subscribers and I picked Bruno Ferreira. I think he needs to work on his defense, but he got the win. I guess it's smart, especially after Bonligo's last performance. He showed a bit of struggle against the Cody Brandage, so that's not a good look. But in any case, I don't know why did Bruno Ferreira get a performance bonus. Did Dominic Reyes get a performance bonus? Why didn't Dominic Reyes get a performance bonus, but Bruno Ferreira got a performance bonus? Because he was hit a lot. I mean, he needs to work on his defense now. Like, that was horrible. You can't get hit that much and say, well, at the end of the day, I won. Yeah, you still won, but what's going to happen when you fight the higher ranked fighters? Because that's one of the reasons why I was struggling to pick Bruno Ferreira. Even though I picked him, I wasn't very confident in his ability to win because he absorbs a lot of damage. But he still won. And yeah, my subscribers and I were right to pick Bruno Ferreira, but he's gonna lose at some point and badly if he continues to fight the way he does. Anyway, on to the next one. Raul Rosas Jr. versus Ricky Turcios. Obviously, my subscribers and I picked Raul Rosas Jr. Um, I don't know. I used to like Ricky Turcios, but his attitude was a little bit, off in this particular fight. I get that maybe he was trying to motivate himself in order to get um, focus and try to get the upset here, but I mean, that was horrible. Anyway, he seemed a little bit better and good, defensively and offensively. He was a little bit aggressive. I feel like he has a little bit of a good future. I don't know how he's going to perform in future, but his performance against Raul Rosas Jr. tells me that he's going to be a decent fighter in the UFC. He might not be a future champion, but he's a decent fighter in the UFC. Raul Rosas Jr., on the other hand, he's potentially a future champion. I love the way the UFC is building him up, especially because Rosas Jr. is a star, man. Like, you heard the crowd screaming, saying the F word to Ricky Turcios. That just goes to show how big this kid can potentially be, And I love that the UFC is taking it a little bit slow, and losing to Christian Rodriguez is not really bad, especially considering that Rodriguez went on to end another unbeaten streak against Cameron Simon. So, I mean, that's not a bad loss, So kudos to him. I'm looking forward to how his career unfolds. But yeah, my subscribers and I picked Raul Rosas Jr. On to the next one. Dominic Reyes versus Dustin Jacoby. My subscribers and I picked Dominic Reyes. A lot of people were crapping on me for picking Dominic Reyes. They were like, "You're stupid," and why are MMA fans like that though? Like they were calling me stupid and hey bro, Imavov gang. I think I put that in the last live, right? I don't know. Did you put it Tweezy? Like I didn't even read your name when you commented. Tweezy is like one of my OG, live viewers. I don't know. I don't think to. I don't know if you did. Maybe you left before. I don't know. I can't remember if you did. But yeah, Imavov did really well. But let me finish with Dominic Reyes, and I'll get back to Imavov. Let me finish with Dominic Reyes. Um, I'm happy that Dominic Reyes won, man. Once again, it's crazy to me to know that I got 11 out of 14, largely because a few months ago I was even thinking of just stopping these predictions because I'm the kind of person who doesn't want to do anything if I'm not going to excel at it. And I wasn't excelling, in the past couple of months. But before UFC 300, I made a decision to actually adjust my prediction analysis, and it worked, man. It worked. So, and I say this because I didn't expect Dominic Reyes to win the way he did. I felt like he would actually pick apart and dust it from a distance. So happy for Reyes as well. I am too, man. I thought he would actually pick apart Dustin Jacoby from a distance because he would be worried about the fire. But it seems like Justin will be Israel Adesanya's teammate, will be fighting, what do you call him? Israel Adesanya's former opponent, basically. So I hope, and I know if you looked at my early predictions for Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler, I feel like Carlos Ulberg and what do you call him? There's this kid with the afro. Those are the two locks, I think, on that particular card. I think Carlos Ulberg is going to beat Jamal Hill, unfortunately. So, yeah. Anyway, I digress. My subscribers and I picked Dominic Reyes. I'm glad he won. On to the next one, the main event of the evening, Jared Cannonier versus Nassourdine Imavov. This fight, a lot of people, before I speak about the fighting and everything like that, I want to address the controversy because a lot of people are complaining about the stoppage. For me, I complain about the stoppage if I felt like the fight would have played out differently. Even if it wasn't stopped as quickly as it was, I felt like people are complaining, obviously, because I saw a lot of people picking Jared Cannonier, and obviously, even my subscribers, even my subscribers, even my subscribers picked Jared Cannonier. I went with what do you call him, Nassourdine Imavov. I feel like he is really talented. He's a really talented striker, especially the fight coming out of Paris. I don't know what's happening in Paris, but I mean the strikers coming out of there are really, really, really incredible. Um, but yeah, I feel like if the fight would have played out a little bit differently, had the fight not been stopped, I would have been like, it's justified to be. Stay hard, bro. Thanks, man. I feel like people are complaining like he was losing that particular fight. He looked good in the first round. I mean, Jared Cannonier looked good in the first round, but um, as time progressed, I feel like he started to fade. And it's normal and it goes without saying. That's why I never pick, not never, because on the upcoming card, I picked a 37-year-old to beat Miles Johns, and people are just crapping on me on that particular card. But I hardly ever pick older fighters because of this particular reason. Your ability to take a shot decreases, your speed decreases, a lot of things decreases. And to be fair, Jared Cannonier looked good. If that was a 3 round fight, I mean, Jared Cannonier could have maybe, might have potentially, I don't know, maybe got 2 rounds, and then made sure that he gets to the final round and won a decision, right? So he's still good, but I feel like Nassourdine Imavov, especially in the 5 round, it was not going to end that well for him. I think that even though people are upset, the referee made the right decision, which was ultimately beneficial to him, so that he can have a couple more fights before he retires. Imagine if the referee didn't stop that fight, and somehow Cannonier found a way to actually be defensively good enough to not get the fight stopped, but he continues to get damaged. So imagine the fight between, what do we call it? Andre Fialho versus, not Fiala, not Miguel Baeza versus Soriano, right? Imagine that fight. Imagine that being Jared Cannonier. Imagine Jared Cannonier surviving just enough to not get the fight stopped, but Imavov just beating the living crap out of him. Then people would have said, "Oh my God, that was horrible reffing. The fight should have been stopped. Why didn't the referee stop?" The same thing that they're doing with the Soriano fight. They're saying, no, they should have let him, and all these type of things, which I don't think is smart, especially for a 40-year-old. I mean, his career is almost at the end, and people are crying like this guy was going to come back and win. He wasn't going to win. If anything, it would have shortened his career. He might have been able to maybe make a couple more thousands, 100,000 with 2 or 3 more fights. But if they let that fight go on, and obviously Gerard Cannonier is strong and he's a tough dude, he might have been able to survive and just get damaged, and so damaged that he couldn't even take his next fight. So I'm not mad at the stoppage. But as far as the fight goes, depends, because Imavov probably would fight different in a 3 rounder. I think he wanted to not guess early on this one. I agree. I agree with you, Twizzy, right? And I'm not. My example about a 3 rounder, I think it was about someone else. I still feel like Imavov wins this fight, even if it's 3 rounds. I'm just making an example that, or rather, my point was to say that Jared still looks good. He still looks good, but Nassourdine is an incredible striker. I honestly didn't feel like Cannonier had a shot, and even in my final prediction, I did say that Jared Cannonier is coming from surgery and he's 40 years old, and it's coming from, even though it wasn't a long layoff, but the layoff was a little bit extended. So I can't really say that he was going to win that fight. If anything, he was going to get his career shortened, and I'm always for fighters getting an opportunity to defend themselves, but when they're 40 years old and they need money the way Jared Cannonier needs it, I'm happy the fight got stopped early so that he has the opportunity to fight again and make another amount of money. Maybe whether he wins or not, I don't know. But at the very least, he has an opportunity to come back. Um, I love and appreciate all of you guys. This is where my stream ends. I'm going to do a couple of other streams. I'm looking forward to obviously everyone is looking forward to the fight between Jared Cannonier, Robert Whittaker, and Hamza Chimaev. Actually, that whole card, even the fight between Michael Chandler and Conor McGregor. Go watch that prediction. I'll give you like my prediction for Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler. I think Conor McGregor is going to win that fight. I'll break down the fight once the pay-per-view is close enough. But yeah, June is a really nice month. Yeah, I love and appreciate all of you. If you're not subscribed, go through the entire channel and make up your mind. I feel like my channel has some of the most informative and pleasing videos that you can ever find on YouTube. Go to the short section, go to even the community section. That's where the subscribers pick who they want to win. So my channel is not just for me, it's also for my subscribers. So if you go to the short section, even on the live, even never forgot Tony dropped the Chandler. Yeah, man. And Chandler is like 37 years old, and Conor McGregor is still within prime years of fighting. So I don't know if Chandler is going to win this one. So anyway, the community section is where my subscribers pick. I think a lot of you were hearing me say, "This is who my subscribers pick. This is who I pick." My subscribers pick the people that they think will win in the community section of the channel. The short section of the channel, as I've been saying, is the biggest um, source of my views and the subscribers. I reply to every comment. I think I'll go live again. There's something I want to talk about. Um, I have a brand, by the way, so I've been hearing people asking how they can support the channel because they've been making money. So I'm working on something. I just have to check if they deliver globally. But yeah, I have a brand and it's on a premium, not, yeah, one of the biggest e-commerce stores in Africa. So I'm working on that, and I'll drop the information once it's fully available. It's available, but not every single item is available. So I'll make a dedicated video for that. And then there are a couple of interviews coming up. EFC champions. If you don't know, I interview EFC champions and headliners. Go through my channel. Go to the playlist. That's why I say my channel, every single part of my channel is active. Go to playlists, you'll find the interviews, all of them, but it's the live interviews. I interview them with a phone, like I am talking to you right now. Go to the playlist section on the channel. They are in a playlist. You can watch all the interviews. So I'm also trying to do my part to actually develop the MMA sport in Africa. So yeah, there are a couple of them. There's someone who won a chat. Also, there was this dude. There's this dude on the Ultimate Fighter. Is it? Yes, the Ultimate Fighter, who was the interim champion, or rather the champion of the organization that I'm talking about. This is where Dricus du Plessis came from. The EFC. This is where Dricus du Plessis came from. So I interview their champions and their main event and co-main event. So yeah, I do it every single month for their upcoming cards. Anyway, I've been ranting. I appreciate and love all of you guys. Tweezy, see you in the comment section, along with everyone. I mean, I'm not going to only respond to Tweezy, I respond to everyone. Until we see each other again, I love and appreciate all of you. Deuces.